Black people. Black people are the ones in the ghetto shooting each other and doing all this evil. Well, that's not going deep enough. Why are, quote unquote, black people in ghettos shooting each other up in street gangs? Why is black people promoting music that has to do with adultery and murder of their own people, of our own people? Is it because we're the wicked? Okay? It has nothing to do with that, man. Honestly, it's because our people are influenced by the wicked. The wicked being Esau, the so-called white man. If you don't know who the wicked is, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Look on the paper money, okay, for face value. What nationality, what race of people do you see on paper money? You see Edomites. Who are the race of people on earth today who are spreading democracy around the whole earth, causing all these different nations who once had their own culture, now they're following the ways of the wicked, being Esau, the so-called white man. You go to China now, even where they follow communism, you're starting to see them in suits and ties, rocking Stacey Adams or something. But all that is Edomite fashion, because Edomite supremacy has been spread throughout the whole world. But guess what? The wicked, the so-called white man, salvation is far from you. The Heavenly Father's not dealing with you. Okay? And I know it angers you to know that, and naturally, you hearing that message, it will make you hate me more. But nevertheless, you are the devil that the Bible speaks of. And the Heavenly Father, his name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. They have no doings with you Edomites, as in they ain't dealing with you spiritually on the right hand. You're all left hand. They're dealing with you on the left hand, which means they're dealing with you through spiritual demon Satan. The right hand, all right, those are the ones who Yahweh Shai is dealing with. Okay? Psalms 119 and 155 again. Salvation is far from the wicked, for they seek not thy statutes. The so-called white men don't care about the oracles of the Most High. Esau don't care about the ways of the Lord. Esau doesn't care about righteousness. In fact, these Edomites believe in evolution, being atheists, being narcissists, believe in whatever you want to believe except for the Bible. That's what this world promotes. Be whatever you want to be, except for who you are. But then on the other end, they'll say, be who you are. But then you end up changing your sex. But biologically, that is impossible. If you're a man and you chop your rod off, you're still a man biologically. You're just a man without a rod. Okay? If you're a woman and you do something to your breasts, you chop them off and now you're flat-chested because you want to look like a man, and you take some kind of hormones to put hair on your face, well, biologically, you're still a woman. Okay? But because of the wicked not following the ways of the Lord, these are the kind of things you have to expect out here. You have to expect evil. You have to expect a whole bunch of weirdos gathering together at some club somewhere at night, freaking off and doing some kind of sex magic at the end of the club. Meeting up at some house party and doing a whole bunch of wickedness, man. Okay? But because of the ways of Esau, these things get uplifted. These things are looked at as great, and they're justified in this world. But that's why the scriptures say, woe to them who call evil good and good evil. Okay? Salvation is far from the wicked being Esau, which means when Yahweh Shai returns to deliver the elect of Israel, you better believe he's not delivering no Edomites. Salvation is far from the wicked. Now people will say that and think that, well, the wicked, that's anybody who's bad. If you go out and you murder people, you're the wicked. Well, yeah, typically that's true. That also includes the wicked of our people. Salvation is far from them. But really, that's not what this is talking about. This is talking about Esau. Because when it comes down to it, all the nation of Israel is going to receive salvation. But see, the thing about planet Earth, this is the place of judgment. You're down here to catch your judgment. So you might have to die some horrific death before you can receive the promises. But these heathens, they're going to receive their judgment, their horrific death, then come back reincarnated into the kingdom, not with a spiritual body, not with any spiritual powers, but as slaves, man. Because salvation, starting off, is far from the wicked Esau. But guess what? The rest of these nations are not excluded. They're included, man. Salvation is far from all you heathens. Okay? The Heavenly Father sending His Son, who's a so-called black man. He'd be a so-called Negro if he was on earth today, whose name is Yahweh Shai. He was an austere man. He was what you would call an asshole, but he was also what you would know as a nice guy, right? Well, that's how his prophets are. We're nice guys, but we're also assholes. I said assholes. We're also, yeah, okay, I said it right. See, that's the mind for you, though. Satan trying to mess with my thoughts. Okay, thinking I said something wrong, but I actually said it correctly. Okay? But salvation is far from the wicked. So like I read in the verse before that, okay, Yahweh Shai actually has a kingdom waiting on us, man. All we got to do is watch. Watch for prophecies. Watch for things that happen. And watch everything that Yahweh Shai said would happen, and the rest of the prophets. So what the Heavenly Father said would happen, down to His Son Yahweh Shai, down to the prophets, okay? All these things are going to happen. Just watch. And that includes a kingdom being set up for you. That's a part of the prophecies as well, man. That hasn't come to pass yet in terms of you being able to see it with your own eyes, man. But just watch. You're going to see that Yahweh Shai has a kingdom waiting on you, which is really Yahweh Shai's kingdom, but He's sharing His kingdom with you, man. That shows you how great of a man Yahweh Shai is. Okay? This is Isaiah 48, and I'm going to start at 22. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. So there is no peace to the so-called white man. There's a kingdom waiting on Israel, but there ain't no peace for the wicked. Salvation is far from the wicked. What is so hard to understand that the so-called white man Esau has nothing to do with the covenant. He has nothing to do with salvation. All right? Even when you look in the new covenant, you can go to Hebrews 8, all right? And you'll find out that the new covenant still is only about Israel. Okay? To this day. There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. So you Edomites, you devils, you so-called white people, you're not receiving salvation. You're not receiving the next kingdom to come. This is your kingdom now. So if you're poor, you're out on the streets, you're drugged out, whatever the case may be, that's just too bad, because salvation is far from you. Okay? Now that goes into the harsh reality of the Heavenly Father. All right? Yahweh Shai was an austere man. The Heavenly Father is an austere man. He's a man of war. He's a very serious man. And what you did to the nation of Israel, you got to pay for that. He hasn't forgotten. You heathens try to sweep it under the rug, try to throw it in trash bags and take it outside so the trash man can pick it up. You try to do whatever you can to hide the evidence. of what you've done to Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? But there ain't no escaping the judgment that you got coming. All right? There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked. Okay? This is Psalms 128:6. Thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. So there ain't no peace upon the wicked, but there is going to be peace upon Israel. All right? Esau isn't receiving any salvation. Esau isn't receiving any peace. Esau's blessing was to rule with the sword. Now, what did Yahweh tell Peter? You live by the sword, you die by the sword, man. Esau, you're blessed with the sword. You live by it. So you're going to die by the sword. So how in the hell could you receive peace? You was given the military. AKs, ARs, snipers, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, rail guns. All these things are a part of your blessing. But you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. And that includes anybody else who puts their faith in carnality. Okay? That's why a lot of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives die by Esau's weapons. Whether it's by the hands of another Israelite, or whether it's by the hands of the wicked, or some other heathen. You live by the sword, you die by it. A lot of you put so much faith in your gun, you end up dying by a gun. And that gun that you trusted in, you didn't even have a chance to shoot off one bullet, man. There's plenty of dudes who put their faith in their strap. Then their enemies come and roll on them, catch them slipping, so to speak. Take them out. Their soul goes back to the spirit world. But the vessel that they used to dwell in, when the ambulance and the cops show up, they find the guy's body lifeless, a gun with a full clip still in it. Didn't even get to get any shots off. But he was putting his faith in that gun that he didn't even get an opportunity to shoot. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Okay? But Esau, the wicked, there's no peace for the wicked. Peace is for Israel. And that's just what the scriptures say. Peace is for Israel, man. Peace is far from the wicked. Salvation is far from the wicked. Esau, the so-called white man. Psalms 128:6 again. Yeah, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. So peace is going to be upon Israel. Isaiah 48:22 said there ain't going to be no peace for Esau, but there is going to be peace for Israel. Okay? So when the end does come, when Yahweh does return, that's good news for Israel. He's coming back for the oppressed. He's coming back for the poor. How in the hell is that the so-called white man? How in the hell is that the so-called Arab? How is that the so-called East Indian? They're living it up. A lot of these other nations come from wherever they come from, and they set up here in America. They get loans. They get business loans. Okay? They're able to set up businesses, and they come here by choice. But you Israelites, you was either brought here by force, okay, or the land that you're walking on was took from you. So we've been destroyed as a people. Psalms 128:6. Yeah, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. Okay, so that's going to happen, man. Israel's